Welcome back to Today in Yuma. I'm Jennifer.
And I'm Teresa.
Joining us this morning, we have Rosa Wong, Vice Chairwoman, and Chief Paul DeAnda here to talk about the 20th anniversary celebrating the partnership between the Somerton Cocopah Fire Department. I'm just so used to say things in a certain order.
Yes.
And it's a collaboration between the tribe and the community.
That is correct. It was our 20th year anniversary between the Somerton Fire Department and the Cocopah Indian Tribe, which we just had a proclamation at the Somerton City Hall with the Somerton City Council just last week.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago, yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago. Okay, I'm behind on my days.
Well, so, what makes this remarkable is 20 years that's an amazing feat for a collaboration. But how this all started 20 years ago, it's truly unique. It's is it one of a few or one of a kind in the nation, a collaboration to this magnitude of the different departments?
I've looked into it, and to date, I've been able to find a single other municipality that has joined through an IGA to provide this type of a service nationwide. There are communities that have involved themselves with tribal organizations, but never in the way we've done it.
And the IGA is the Intergovernmental Agreement?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and it's a big deal, if for those of you that don't know, the Cocopah Reservation is in Somerton. It's right there. It's not far. So it makes sense to have this partnership.
Yeah. Chief DeAnda and the chairwoman actually grew up together. So everybody really knows everybody in that area. And, the Cocopah Indian Tribe consists of 3 reservations. So it would be only fitting that a collaboration like this would occur because they are closer than Yuma or San Luis, right. Arizona. So for safety purposes of the community, that was ideal.
And the shared mission, again, like you said, is to provide safety and make sure that situations that arose were taken care of expeditiously, not something that might, in those instances, even 15 minutes can make a huge difference.
That is correct. We have monthly reports by the chief that he provides for the tribe, and the amount of calls that he and his crew come out to is significant throughout the month. So I don't know if we would not have this agreement with the Somerton Fire Department, if that would we would have more tragedies than we currently have now. We have really prevented a lot of really serious situations, I think, with having them there. So,
well, let's walk through the timeline of when this all started, because we're going back to 2000, and the Cocopah tribe hired 6 new members as part of the IGA.
Correct.
And I'm assuming it's grown since then.
Yes, it is. Yeah. The tribe continues to pay for 6 positions within the department, and it's what we call the floor. The people that are actually running the calls. There's 24 of us, and so there's 3 crews of 7. Each shift, A, B, and C shift, and then there's 3 administrative persons, myself, the battalion chief, and the fire inspector. And then the tribe also pays 1/3 of all the operating costs.
Okay.
And so what the IGA does, intergovernmental agreement, is it allows us to have a complete department, and allows the tribe to have a complete department without paying the total price of the department. Mm-hmm. For the city to do it on its own, it would be a little over $2 million. Likewise for the tribe, but because they're paying for those 6 positions and 1/3, then their cost to them is greatly reduced, and our cost to us is greatly reduced. Because of our low tax rate that comes into the city, we wouldn't be able to afford what we can because the tribe is with us.
Right.
And so it's a symbiotic relationship, and it's awesome because we were providing service to the tribe without cost when we were volunteers, and the Cocopahs had a volunteer group, and they were providing service to us. We'd have a fire in the city, Cocopahs would show up. They have a fire out in the res, we would show up. And so we've always helped each other even before this agreement. And so it was symbiotic, and it was born into what we have now.
It just made sense.
It does.
Yeah. I think, and it probably has created a stronger relationship between the 2 entities too, as far as communication and everything goes.
Absolutely.
Well, Cocopah tribal member Daryl Thomas was the first assistant chief of the Somerton Cocopah Fire Department. That was in 2000. And let's just talk about some of the progress, the additional things that have happened over the last 20 years, Chief. Technology-wise, I'm sure the vehicles are a little different. Radios are a little different.
Yeah, well, yeah, we've added the ladder truck because the tribe built the 3-story hotel. It's a resort. They have the casino. They have a lot of enterprises. They have the speedway, and so that ladder truck's very key to helping us as we provide that service to them. But as far as progress, back in the day we had the VHS radios, and they were very poor as far as when we couldn't be heard. Now we're with the Yuma Regional Communication System, and we're 800 megahertz, and we're able to be. I can speak from here to Phoenix on my portable radio,
Oh, wow.
and so it's incredible.
Yeah,
Well,
definitely.
communication is extremely important when you're dealing with situations like these. You need to be able to talk to each other and call in extra support or just apprise people of where you are, what's going on.
Now, in 2013, the Cocopah Emergency Management Operations Center was established. What is that?
That is with our wonderful Mike Fila, who is our emergency manager. He carries out several positions within the tribe and just assists in every aspect that has to do with emergency, with this evacuation, currently with the COVID, just setting up vaccinations and anything like that. Anything that has to do with emergency management, he's the guy, and that's what that department was made for.
Awesome.
And that center itself is actually an emergency operations center. The county has an emergency operations center when there's a disaster, but sometimes things happen in South County that are unique to us. I'll give you an example. We had that one storm.
The
brought
flood.
Down, yeah, 6
And the
inches.
flood.
The flood where cars were up to like the windows.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, so you had two systems converge. They rested over not only Somerton but the east and west reservations, and so he was able to initiate their EOC in our area in South County without having to draw resources from the rest of the county.
Okay.
And so that's what that's about. And Mike's the one that's behind that. He's a really sharp guy.
Well, we're going to turn back time a little bit. I know we were talking about 2013, but I mentioned in 2000, tribal member Daryl Thomas became the first assistant chief. In 2001, he passed away.
Yes.
Let's talk about that for a minute because he played an integral role in the department.
Yeah. Well.
This is hard for you,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Well, Daryl. I met Daryl when I became a volunteer in 1981. I was my junior year of high school. I joined the volunteers in Somerton. And a year later, right out of senior year, I became a captain. And Daryl was always training with the Somerton Fire Department, and he was the assistant chief of the Cocopah Volunteer Fire Department. They back then they bought a brand new light rescue truck that had a pump and tank of water on it. And so after that, he was always responding to every single call we went on. We went on a medical call, he was there. A fire call, he was there. And so he integrated himself into us naturally. And when I became chief back in '84, one of my very first things I did was I promoted him to captain. He was the first captain other than myself. I was the first captain in the Somerton Fire Department, and he was the second. And he was instrumental in helping me and guiding me. He was a very sharp guy. I told a story in his dedication where I was real proud because they gave me my red helmet. That's when I became a captain before I became chief. And I was full of myself because I was 18 years old and I was a captain. And so he came up to me and said, "You know why the helmet's red?" I said, "Well, no." He goes, "That represents the blood of the people that are under your command. You're responsible for all those guys." And then I felt the weight of the world on me. I thought,
Right.
okay, this isn't so cool. And so, and I bring that up to show how.
Just to show your responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
At 18 years old, sometimes you need a reminder of that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and then Daryl was key in that. He was real instrumental in guiding us. He was the voice of authority. When I became chief, that's why I promoted him to captain in our department. He was still assistant chief with the Cocopahs, with their volunteer group. And he really helped me with getting things across to all the volunteers we had at that time. Because he was an older guy, he was the voice of authority, and he carried himself real well.
Well, he passed away in 2001, and he is the first, and so far, and we pray that stays that way, the only Somerton Cocopah Fire Department firefighter to die in the line of duty.
Yes.
But he really helped pave the way. And again, he was instrumental, Chief Deanda, in you're coming to be.
Absolutely.
I'm sure you learned
Yeah.
so much from him, and you still keep that with you to this day.
Well, again, I'm glad that you guys did the remembrance of him and really dedicated, that time and spotlighted him because he was an integral part of this pairing of the two entities.
Yes, the neatest thing was to see his children there.
Oh.
And when his daughter, actually, Elena, mentioned that she got to see her uncles, because I guess that's what
They
she
grew
called
up
them.
with,
They
yeah,
grew up with them, so
yeah.
I thought that was really neat, and his son was there as well, so that was important for us that the family be there. So I was happy to see them.
And important for them to know that his legacy continues to,
Yes.
That
to
is
live
correct.
on.
That is
Absolutely.
correct.
Very important.
And for our membership, I think it brings some sort of a desire to want to pursue something like that in the future for themselves, because it is looked upon as an honor for him to have served, and how people from the city have really taken heart to his role in the fire department. So that was really sweet.
Well, in 2016, the SCFD earned the Most Inspiring Rural Health Award from the Arizona Rural Health Association. What a recognition.
It was a really good moment for us because we joined with Amanda Aguirre and the Regional Center for Border Health on that one, and we created the first community paramedicine in Yuma County. And basically what that is, we go out and they give us a list of people that we visit. We go out, we do inspections of their homes, and then we do pill counting and their vital signs and all that.
Wow.
And the people that are on that list are people that are chronically ill, either diabetes, high blood pressure. And through that arrangement that we created with Regional Center for Border Health, 98% of the people that were diabetic were brought under control,
Oh,
or
wow.
they're doing well, and 100% of the people that had high blood pressure had their blood pressure placed under control, where they weren't having problems with it anymore.
Because people were kind of working with them and following
Right.
along and helping.
Reminding them
Yes.
when to
Yeah.
take them. That's huge. That's and that also serves as a well check too.
Yeah, and so the state recognized that, and they recognized both the Regional Center for Border Health and the Somerton Kokopah Fire Department on that.
Does that program continue?
And continues, but it took a respite because of the COVID.
Okay.
In fact, this week, I think Monday or Tuesday, I have a meeting with Regional Center for Border Health, and we're gonna get the new list of names and
And
go out
get
and
it
visit
back.
with those people. Yeah.
Very, very worthwhile program.
It is. And we mentioned it before, you started out small, but now the department is much larger. In 2018, you guys actually hired 6 additional firefighters via the FEMA and SAFER grant.
Exactly, and that allows us to really staff our units better. It allows us to put more people on the fire ground better. When we have accidents out there, as you've seen in the paper, they're typically mass casualty incidents, and anything over 3 patients is a mass casualty. And so a lot of deaths this last year, and they continue on the rise in South County because of the accidents. We have San Luis, Arizona growing, we have San Luis, Mexico growing, and all our traffic travels up north to Yuma. It comes through our area, through our certificate of necessity area for our ambulance. And so those 6 additional people are critical, and being able to have 2 ambulances instead of 1 ambulance. We couldn't have that second ambulance without the 6 people.
So on behalf of all of those working those scenes too, and the general traveling public, please take your time.
Yes.
Watch your speed limits. Watch for other vehicles on those stretches of roads.
There are a lot of those county roads that don't have lights, so it's dark.
we have had some implementation of street lights in those areas,
Perfect.
because it seems like the county roads are the most dangerous.
Yes.
And they just they don't see patrolling, or they think there's no one patrolling, but there are, and they
I
just
think-
want to speed.
I think the mentality too is once they get past the city and they're in those county
They're
roads,
free.
they're free. Let's go, let's go.
That is
But
not
it's
the
so
case.
unsafe.
Yeah.
There is stop signs. There is. There's not really any like street lights,
No.
but there is stop signs, and they're so important, especially with our agriculture and just everyday traffic.
Even
coming
I'll
this way.
travel down Avenue B south to head home down County 14th, and some afternoons I kind of beat a lot of the traffic in the morning, but in the afternoon you think it's a free for all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm getting over in the left lane because I know the light's coming up and I have an after turn. And apparently I'm not doing 20 miles over the speed limit to keep everyone happy. And there's a lack of signaling. So just in general, please be careful out there.
Yeah.
Those 2 minutes you're trying to shave off your time aren't worth my life, your life, someone else's life.
Yeah.
And our first responders that have to come out and see that and witness that and then live with that.
Yeah.
People don't think of that end of things either.
Well, one of the things I shared with people for years is it's an old Spanish saying, and the saying is, it's better to lose a second of your life than your life in 1 second.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So true. Well, thank you both so much for joining us. Congratulations on the continued collaboration.
Yes.
It serves our community well, and we're better for having you all working together like that.
Exactly. We'll see what the next 20 years holds.
There you go.
Thank you for having us. You guys have a good morning.